I remember the night when everything in Atimbo village became different. The rain fell a lot, making the ground messy and the air chilly. But even all that rain couldn't take away the big scary feeling in our village. My name is Robert, and I saw it all. Please do well to subscribe and turn on the bell notification as we are here to serve you with amazing content. Mr. Johnny was the principal of Atimbo Secondary School. He was only 30 years old, but he acted like he owned the whole school. People called him Mr. Talk and Do, because whatever he said, he did. If he punished a student, no one could change it. If he gave an order, everyone obeyed. Teachers feared him. Students feared him. Even parents feared him. But there was one thing nobody talked about, his dark secret. For a long time, whispers floated in the village. Some girls spoke in low voices about things that happened behind closed doors. But fear kept them silent. Fear kept everyone silent. Until one year, 3 girls, Ada, Etoro Abong, and Aisha, became pregnant. It was no longer a secret. People started to talk. Aisha was 20 years old, beautiful, and full of dreams. She wanted to be a nurse. But when she found out she was pregnant, fear gripped her heart. Mr. Johnny called her to his office one evening. He looked into her eyes and said, "You must do as I say." She had no choice. She followed his orders and got rid of the baby. 2 weeks later, she was dead. The village mourned her. Her mother wept loudly in the streets. Her father cursed the gods. But no one said a word about who was responsible. Then there was Etoro Abong. She was 19. She also carried Mr. Johnny's child, but she refused to listen to him. "I will not take a life," she said. "I will keep my baby." Mr. Johnny was furious, but Etoro did not change her mind. Her parents were ashamed. They feared what the village would say. They told her she had brought disgrace to their family. One night, they threw her out. She stood in the street, tears rolling down her face. She had no home, no food, no help. Mr. Johnny continued to live his life, as if nothing had happened. Ada, the youngest of them all, was only 18. When she found out she was pregnant, she knew she had to run. She packed a small bag and escaped to a neighboring village, where her grandmother lived. She did not tell anyone. She did not look back. She just ran. She knew that if she stayed in Atimbo, she would not survive. For weeks, people whispered. Some suspected Mr. Johnny, but no one dared to accuse him. Until the night justice finally arrived. Etoro Abong, weak and broken, gathered the courage to go to King Jagaban, the ruler of Atimbo. She knelt before him in his palace, her voice shaking as she spoke. "I did nothing wrong," she said, tears falling from her eyes. "But now, I have nothing." And Aisha lost her life because of him. The palace was silent. Then, King Jagaban stood up. His face was filled with anger. He sent his guards to investigate, and when they found out the truth, he ordered Mr. Johnny's arrest. That night, the police arrived at Mr. Johnny's house. He was sleeping when they banged on the door. He opened it, confused. Before he could speak, they grabbed him and put him in handcuffs. "You are under arrest," one of the officers said. Mr. Johnny struggled. He shouted. He denied everything. But it was too late. The villagers gathered outside. Some cheered. Some whispered. And for the first time, the fear was gone. But justice does not always mean a happy ending. The village was silent. The people stood together, watching as the police took Mr. Johnny away in handcuffs. His head was down. His face had no pride anymore. The people whispered among themselves. "This is what happens to bad men." He thought he could hide forever. I stood at the edge of the crowd, my heart beating fast. I had seen everything, the pain, the fear, the suffering. Now, I was seeing justice. But deep inside, I knew the truth. This was not over. Itoro Abong stood next to me. Her hands were tight fists. Her face was hard. Her eyes were dark with anger. She turned to King Jagaban, who sat on his throne, watching everything. "My king," she said. Her voice was strong. "What about the others?" The crowd became quiet. "What others?" King Jagaban asked in a deep voice. Itoro took a deep breath. "Mr. Johnny was not alone," Mary said. Few months after, Itoro Abong walked slowly down a dusty road. Her belly was big because she was pregnant. Her legs hurt. She had nowhere to go. Tears ran down her face as she remembered her father's words. "You have shamed us, Itoro. Get out of my house. You are no longer my daughter." Her mother had begged, but her father was firm. They threw her out like she was nothing. She had begged the neighbors to help her, but they turned away. A child without a father. "You brought this on yourself." She slept on the streets. Sometimes under trees. Sometimes by the river. The nights were cold. The days were long. Hunger became her friend. She held her belly and whispered to her baby, "We will survive." Then, one day, she met an old woman. The woman's name was Mama Efua. She was kind. She gave Itoro food, a place to sleep, and hope. "You are strong, my child," Mama Efua said. "One day, they will hear your story." Officer Okoro sat at his desk. His hands were shaking. His heart was beating fast. He reached for his cup of palm wine and took a sip. He could hear the people outside. The village was awake. They had caught Mr. Johnny. And if Mr. Johnny spoke, a loud knock on the door made him jump. "Who is there?" he asked. Silence. He grabbed his gun and walked slowly to the door. When he opened it, he saw nothing but darkness. Then a whisper. "We know what you did." His breath caught in his throat. He stepped back. His hands were sweaty. The whispers grew louder. "We know. We know." The wind blew hard. Then, he heard footsteps. Men were coming. Then a voice called out, "Officer Okoro, come out." It was King Jagaban's warriors. The villagers had surrounded the police station. The warriors dragged Officer Okoro out. His uniform was wet with sweat. His face was full of fear. He tried to run, but there was nowhere to go. King Jagaban stepped forward. "You thought we wouldn't find out." I don't know what you mean," Okoro stammered. A voice from the crowd called out, "Let Mr. Johnny speak." The crowd moved aside. Two policemen brought Mr. Johnny forward. He was still in handcuffs. But now, he had a strange smile. "Tell them, Johnny," Itoro said. "Tell them the truth." Mr. Johnny chuckled. He turned to Officer Okoro and shook his head. "You should have helped me escape." Then, he turned to the crowd. "Yes. Officer Okoro was part of it. He protected me. He even took some of the girls for himself." The crowd gasped. "He told me where to send the girls," Mr. Johnny said. "He helped me hide what happened to Aisha." "He? Shut up!" Okoro screamed. His eyes were wide with fear. But it was too late. The truth was out. The next morning, the village gathered again. This time, two men stood in chains. Mr. Johnny and Officer Okoro. King Jagaban stood tall before the people. "For too long, these men have caused pain in our village. For too long, they have walked freely while our daughters suffered." The crowd murmured in agreement. But no more. He turned to the police officers nearby. Take them away. The law will deal with them. As the police led them to the truck, Officer Okoro turned back. His face was angry. His voice was loud. You think this is over? There are more like me out there. You think you've won? King Jagaban did not reply. He watched as the truck drove away, taking the two men to face justice. I sat outside, watching the sunset. The village was quiet now. Peaceful. Etoro Abong sat beside me, holding her baby in her arms. You did it, I said. She shook her head. No. We did it. Ada, who had returned from her grandmother's home, stepped outside and smiled. What happens now? Etoro looked at her baby, then at the village. Now, we rebuild. I nodded. For the first time in a long time, I felt hope. As the sky turned dark, I knew one thing for sure. Atimbo had changed forever. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and comment for more amazing contents like this.